Hey YouTubers, welcome back if you've never watched me before. My name is Megan. I am not a professional YouTube video person. I am not sponsored. I do not have any affiliated links. I do not make any commissions off of these videos. I'm just a mom wanting to help other parents. And if you're here today watching this video, you're probably here because you have a child or children, or if you have twins or triplets going off to college, and you have seen one of my Facebook posts and you maybe had some extra questions, or I was hoping I could give you guys some more details about my process and about what I'm doing and how I'm doing this, sending my kids off to school, the best way to pack them, the best way to transport things, and just other little details that I've learned along the way the last couple months, getting ready to send my twins off to college. I have a boy and a girl twin. They are both attending the same school. My son has left about 3 weeks ago for summer semester, so he is already in college. My daughter is not going to be going until the fall. So even though they're going to the same school, they're on different timelines. As far as my son already had to be packed and moved back in June, and that's why I was able to post a picture of all of his dorm stuff completed and ready to be loaded into the car, which I've shared with many of you who are watching this video. And if you have not seen that picture, I will also link that down below in the comments so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But I received a lot of questions about the way I do my bags, the way I did my packing for my kids. And so I just wanted to make this video today to go a little bit more into detail and explain the things I did, which hopefully will help some of you. Again, if you're here watching this video, you probably have a child or children going off to college, or maybe you're a college student yourself. So congratulations, this is very exciting for everybody. And I've never done this before, so hopefully my information is accurate and good, and it'll help somebody. But like I said, I'm not a professional. I've never done this before. This is my first time sending my kids off to college. So, but it's very exciting. And I just hope I can help somebody with some of the information that I'm gonna give you guys today. First thing I'm going to start is talking about the best way I found to transport items for dorms into college, or transport them or whatever, is my number one dorm item that I recommend to everybody is these bags that I purchased off of Amazon. They're called Venno bags, V as in Victor, E-N-O, Venno. And I got them on Amazon, and I originally purchased a set of 8 of them. I wanted to give 4 to my daughter and 4 to my son. I quickly realized that 4 per kid was not enough. Both of the kids ended up needing 8 each. So if you have one child, I would recommend getting at least 8. And here's why. 4 of the bags were just full of stuff for the dorms, fans, toolkits, toilet paper, paper towels, just all the normal stuff that you put in for a dorm room. One of the bags was designated for hanging clothes that are going to be hanging in their closet. So one bag was just all hanging clothes. The 6th bag was for drawer stuff, so like socks, underwear, shorts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all that kind of stuff that goes into a drawer. All of that was designated for the 6th bag. The 7th bag was designated for shoes and maybe some other outdoor stuff, like a picnic blanket or a beach bag if they needed it, or that kind of stuff. And then the last bag, the 8th bag, is actually empty. And the reason the 8th bag is empty is because each of my kids has a 3-inch mattress topper. And at the end of the semester, they are going to need to roll that up like a sleeping bag, and they're going to need a way to transport that. Right now, it has been transported in their hampers. They both have like a stand-up hamper, and the mattress pad came compressed in like a vacuum sealed bag. Unfortunately, once they open that and they use it for the first year, it is going to be expanded and it's not going to be compressed like that, and they're going to need a way to transport it and store it if they potentially need to use it for next year. So I packed one empty bag for them inside of another bag, and they will use that 8th bag just to store their mattress topper. The mattress toppers are not inexpensive. The ones I purchased for my kids were like $70, $80, maybe even $100. I purchased one from a company called Casper. They're known for mattresses. And then I also purchased one topper from a company called Lucid on Amazon, which got a lot of good reviews. I don't know which one is better. My kids haven't used them yet, so we're gonna just do a trial and error and see which one is better. But that is why I have 8 bags per kid. Again, 4 bags was just all kinds of dorm room stuff, 1 bag drawer stuff, 1 bag hanging stuff, 1 bag shoes, and 1 bag was empty, and that is for the mattress pad to be packed in. What I did not account for, which hopefully maybe they can just stuff into other random bags, but while they're at college, I'm assuming they're going to accumulate more stuff, whether that be if they join a sorority or fraternity, they're going to get extra t-shirts, or they're going to get little gadgets or gadgets, or just anything that they collect while they're at college. They're going to get extra stuff, and they're going to need a way to transport that stuff either into the storage unit after the school year, or back home. So again, you can never have enough of these bags. Definitely, I would say get 8 of them, maybe 10 of them if your kid has a lot of stuff or you think they're gonna accumulate a lot of stuff over the school year. Here is one of my daughter's bags that has already been packed, and I have not labeled it yet. What I did was I used white duct tape that I purchased at Walmart. I think this roll of white duct tape was $3. And I'm going to put a number on this bag, and then I'm going to do a dorm room inventory list. And every bag is going to have bag number 1, these are the items that are in bag number 1. Bag number 2, these are the items that are in bag number 2, and so on and so forth. And the reason I'm doing that is 1, so that we will know what is in what bag. 2, so that at the end of the school year, my daughter will know what fits in each bag to repack the bags, you know, and then also so she doesn't forget any items. Maybe the roommate has the same items that she has, and she just wants to go down the checklist and make sure that she's packed her fan, and the roommate has her own fan, you know, so that's why, is for multiple reasons. And then the 4th reason why I'm doing the numbering system is for dorm insurance reasons. I have purchased dorm insurance for my kids, and while their stuff is in like the storage unit over the summer, if anything gets lost or stolen or whatever the case may be, if I know what bags were missing or lost, I'll know exactly what items were in those bags and what items need to be replaced and the value of those items. Also on these Venno bags, I also put a piece of white duct tape at the very top up here, if you can see, and I plan on labeling the top piece of duct tape with my kids' names. So I'll put my daughter's name, and I originally was going to put the dorm room information, what dorm she's in and maybe what her room number she is in. So in that case, if during move-in some of these bags get mixed up with other kids' bags, they'll know which dorm room she's in or located in to drop off her bag. However, I've rethought that, and I don't think that's probably the best. I think what I might end up doing is putting her name and putting her cell phone number. And the reason I'm going to do that is because if for some reason, you know, she doesn't have time to relabel these bags next year, or she moves into an apartment, or she's moving into a different dorm, she will not have the same dorm every single year. But I don't foresee her taking the time to relabel these bags. So that's why I'm thinking about putting her cell phone number, because her cell phone number will never change. So that way, if her bag gets mixed up or lost or stolen or something like that, that they can contact her via cell phone. And also if she ends up traveling with these bags, maybe her second or third year at college, she's going to go abroad and we end up doing these for the airplane. Again, the cell phone number on here would be best versus a dorm room name, because every year it's going to change. So, but you can do what you want to do, just some advice. But I would definitely do the numbering system and then also labeling for the names. Then the next thing I wanted to talk about is cleaning supplies. I purchased this tote. It's by the brand Hefty at Target. I don't know how much it was. Maybe it was $10, $12, I don't know. But I have all of my kids' cleaning supplies in here, which are liquids, which obviously I don't want to put in these bags. These bags are just for stuff, clothes, shoes, that kind of stuff. So in this tote, I have all the cleaning supplies that they need. And then I also did put in some like first aid kit stuff. I went to the Dollar Tree, if you have a Dollar Tree in your area, and I purchased these little clear acrylic drawers. And I put like Band-Aids in one drawer, I put medicines in one drawer, I put a thermometer and creams in another drawer, a first aid ice pack in another drawer. And I took all these drawers that I got at the Dollar Tree and I used hot glue in between the layers and I just hot glued them all together so they had like a little first aid tower so they can put this on their desk or put this in a drawer and they don't have to like shuffle through like a little box or bin and looking for Band-Aids, and it'll be a little bit more organized for them. So I put that in this cleaning bin as well, but I did purchase this bin at Target. So I know some people were looking at my picture of my son's dorm stuff and wondering where I purchased my cleaning bin at, and that is what I purchased for them. Another thing I would recommend if you haven't already is getting some kind of a tracking device or air tags. If your child has an iPhone, my kids have iPhones, so I've got them each an air tag to put on their lanyards. The lanyard is where they're going to carry their dorm ID card or their college ID card. The college ID card they're going to take everywhere with them on campus. They're going to usually swipe it to eat at the dining hall. It may be their key card to get into their dorm, maybe get into their dorm room. They may have an actual dorm room key. They'll also put that on their lanyard, but basically the lanyard is their life at college and they don't want to lose that. So I would get them some kind of a tracking device like an air tag, and they can put that on their lanyard. The reason being is not only if they lose it, like, I don't know, if they're out playing, if you have a boy and they're out playing football on the lawn somewhere and they lose it, they can use the air tag to track it down. But even if they take off their lanyard in their room and they, let's say they're on their bed and it falls behind the bed and they don't know, they're running late to class and they don't know where their lanyard is, they can use the little air tag app search feature and they can play a little sound and it'll make a sound and they'll be able to find it in their room if it's lost in their bed or lost behind their bed or whatever the case is. But I would highly recommend, if you haven't already thought about it, getting them some kind of a tracking device. If your child does not have an iPhone and they have a different type of device like a Samsung, or I know there's Androids and all kinds of other types of other phones. They have other tracking devices that work with other phones. I think there's a little one called a tile you can put on your lanyard, but I would invest it for your child in some kind of a tracking device just so they never lose their lanyard or they never lose their ID, which they'll need at college. Going back real quick, I had briefly discussed dorm insurance and I just want to hit on that real quick again. I have purchased dorm insurance for my kids. Is dorm room insurance required or necessary? Absolutely not. But I think it's very inexpensive. It usually averages out to around $12 per month. And for me, it's peace of mind knowing that if anything happens to my kids dorm stuff while it's in storage for the summer. If it gets lost, if it gets stolen, if it gets damaged or whatever, I will be covered, and it's going to cost me $12 a month to do that. I have purchased dorm insurance through a company called GradGuard. I do not work for GradGuard. I'm not going to get any commission links or anything if you guys sign up for it. It's just, that's just the company I chose to go with. There's other ones out there though. There's Gallagher, there's all kinds of, you call your insurance company, I'm sure they have some kind of a renter's insurance or dorm room insurance policy. Some of you out there may be saying, my kids' dorm stuff is covered under my homeowner's policy. Yes, it might be, but what is your homeowner's policy deductible? I know on my home, if something happens and I want to make a claim on my homeowner's insurance, it's like $1,000 deductible for me. So if my son damages or loses, or his $1,000 laptop gets stolen, for me to make a claim to get that $1,000 laptop replaced, it's going to cost me $1,000 deductible, which makes no sense. Also, I don't want my homeowner's insurance policy going up over dorm stuff. So that is why I chose to get a separate policy for my kids. The deductible that I received through GradGuard just depends on the levels that you want to set. You can set higher deductibles, lower deductibles. It just depends on what you want. But I did $5,000 of coverage. I believe that comes with $100,000 of liability, and my deductible is $100. So if anything happens to my kids' dorm stuff, if the sprinklers in the dorms go off and ruin all of their dorm stuff, if their laptops get lost or broken or stolen, whatever the case may be, it's going to cost me $100 to replace whatever I need to replace. And for me, it's peace of mind, and that's just something that worked for me. It may work for you, it may not. So that is the dorm insurance. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on is rental cars. People are kind of freaking out right now, figuring out how much stuff your child needs for college. And especially like in a case like mine, I have double of what everybody else has. And people are wondering, how am I going to transport all this stuff? I have a small SUV, and all of my son's dorm stuff would not fit in our SUV. I also have to drive. Their school is located like 6 hours from here driving, which is 12 hours round trip. And it would not be comfortable to have people holding things on their lap for a 6 hour drive. So I wanted us to be able to drive to the school in comfort, and everybody be comfortable and be able to fit all the stuff that we needed to fit. So I did rent a car, a minivan, through Costco. Costco is a wholesale company. If none of you most of you probably know what Costco is, but Costco is a big wholesale company. They have warehouses all over. They also, which a lot of people do not know, is they have a travel website. It's called CostcoTravel.com. And again, I'm going to put it out there. I don't work for Costco. I'm not getting anything from Costco. I'm a Costco fan. But we always rent our cars through Costco because it's always so much cheaper than renting them through a regular car company. And we also book our vacations, and we do cruises through Costco. They have this strange negotiating buying power with people out there, and they just get such great pricing that they can pass on to their members. So that's why I'm a fan of Costco, is because you can get really good deals and the same quality brand name things and the same vacations that you could get going through a different travel agent or on your own, but you're going to get a significant discount. We rented a minivan through Costco, and the company that they rented through was Budget. It was called Budget. And we had a Chrysler Pacifica was the type of minivan, and we loved it because the seats disappeared. If we didn't need the seats, they would disappear into the floor. So the very back seats, they disappeared into the floor. And then the captain's chairs, if you didn't need the captain's chairs, they also disappeared into the floor. So when we went up for orientation before my son started his summer semester, we rented the minivan and we got rid of all the seats in the back. We put all of them down except for one captain's chair because I was driving and then my daughter was in the front seat, the passenger seat with me, and then my son was in the back seat, captain's chair. And we were able to use the rest of the minivan all for dorm room stuff and for also our luggage and suitcases because we were spending 2 nights up there. In addition to having all of the dorm room stuff, we also had each one suitcase of clothes and toiletries and stuff that we were going to use during our time up there. And we also had a cooler of drinks that we were going to use for the road trip and also while we were up there. So it was a lot of space was needed, and we would have never fit all of that in my SUV. So maybe you have a big car, maybe you have a minivan. But for me, renting through Costco was a lifesaver. And it only cost us about $60 per day to rent the minivan. So again, it was worth every penny. It just depends on what type of, what kind of trip you're taking. Maybe you're only driving an hour, your kid an hour away and you can make multiple trips. Maybe you're driving 14 hours and you really, you want to fly them instead of drive. So it just all depends on your particular situation. I'm just kind of going over what my situation was. And so if you're needing to rent a bigger vehicle and you are a Costco member, I would definitely check them out. They have some great pricing. One tip I will give is I believe that they are on a 24-hour paying rate, I should say. So if you pick up your car at 8 p.m. at night from the rental place, you have to return it by 8 p.m. the next day. Or if you return it at 8:30 the next day, you're going to be charged for 2 days, not just 1 day, even though it seems like it's 1 day. So what I did was I put down that I wanted to pick up my vehicle at 8 p.m. and I picked it up and then I brought it home. We loaded the car because we knew we were going to be leaving for the school the very next morning, super early at like 7 in the morning. And I'm not a morning person and I didn't want to load the car at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I just wanted to load it the night before. I put it in the garage. It sat overnight. It was fine. And then the next morning we took off first thing in the morning. Nobody had to load the car. It was already loaded. And then we headed out to the school. We did end up staying 2 nights at the school for the orientation. And then on our drive home, because it's a long drive, we knew we weren't going to be getting back into town until probably 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock at night. So that is why I started my car rental at 8 p.m. The night before we wanted to load it, because I went from 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then I was only charged 3 days for my car rental. So just keep that in mind when you're figuring out when you want to pick up your car rental and when you want to drop it off. Driving time, what time you think you're going to be returning. Make the most out of your car rental, but don't go over in days. I could have picked up my car rental the day before at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and spent all afternoon loading the car, but then I would have had to pay for a whole extra day just to have the convenience of having the car for a couple extra hours. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to maximize the time that I was actually going to be driving and using the vehicle. So please keep that in mind if you are going to rent a car, but that was really helpful for me. Also, when I did rent through Costco, it was cheaper for me to rent through an airport versus through my local neighborhood. There's car rental places 5 minutes from my house, but there is a bigger airport that's 20 minutes at my house. When I put in my neighborhood that I wanted to rent a car in my neighborhood, the prices were higher versus if I put in the airport location. And I don't know why that is. Maybe because the airport cycles more cars because it's an airport. They have cheaper rates, but you'll want to play with those numbers and play with that if that's the case, if that's what you think it may be cheaper for you just to rent through an airport, and it won't, it's not that big of a difference. Just depends on where you live. If you live 20 minutes away from an airport, or if you live an hour away from an airport. But if the price is that much difference, it might be worth it to still do that. Also, I am going to link down below my boy packing list, all of my son's stuff. I'm also going to include a picture if none of you have seen that picture. I think most of you on here are probably here because you've seen my son's dorm room stuff, and that's what made you come to this video. But if you guys have any other questions, just comment down below. Like I said, I don't get anything from making these videos. I'm just a mom wanting to help other moms and other parents out there. And I just, I hope that my videos are helpful, and some of the tips and advice that I give is helping somebody out there. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, let me know. I typically don't do videos like this. I think I have like 6 or 7 other videos. They've all been travel accessories, gadgets and gadgets, and cruise, what you should take on a cruise. So if this journey is super stressful for you, and after you drop your child off at college, you need a vacation, maybe you should watch some of my other videos, and you can get prepared to go on vacation. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. And again, I hope this was helpful for somebody. Please comment down below. I love reading your comments. It's the only thing I get from doing these videos. I don't make any money. I'm not trying to build a YouTube channel. This is obviously not very professional. If you watch YouTube videos, this is probably the most unprofessional one you've ever seen, because I'm just making this video on my cell phone and hoping I can help somebody. All right, have a good one, everybody, and congratulations again. And I wish you all the best on your journey going off to college or sending your kids off to college.